We're back. These urban times. Terrell Thomas. You're tuned in as always. www.livehiphopdaily.tv. And as I told you, during the second hour, we will be joined at the desk by a special guest, a gentleman I've been rocking with for some time now. I've been following his movement to the point where we start actually doing different things together. A young black entrepreneur doing things in the fashion world with your own clothing line, clothing brand, inspirational brand. By the title of Life Journey. Your name, you go by the name of Mr. Chris Hudson. How you doing today?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
I appreciate your time, man. Appreciate your time.
Likewise.
Now, we're down here downtown Atlanta, but you're a native of the Kentucky area.
Definitely.
Talk to me just a little bit about your roots and when you came up with the concept for Life's Journey.
Yeah, so I'm from Lexington, Kentucky originally, born and raised. You know, that's the city, man, that I love the most, you know, but had to kind of explore out and get my roots planted, you know, to move out farther rather. But pretty much, man, I just started Life's Journey as more of my calling, finding my purpose early in life. I always kind of loved fashion. I always wanted to inspire people, you know, so just was in constant prayer, you know, just God to show me what my purpose is, show me what you want me to do on this earth. He just kind of revealed it to me, man, in a dream, like Life's Journey, you know, and I just kind of, you know, went from there, man, just inspiring people with trying to pursue your dreams, but also having a purpose to kind of go with the clothing. So
when did the brand and everything? When did it all begin for you? When did you decide to put things in motion, and when did you actually print your first piece of clothing?
Definitely. So it all went into motion, man. I say back in 2008, I had a drastic wreck that I was in, hanging out with some friends. The car ended up flipping 3 or 4 times. And honestly, I'm not supposed to be here, to be honest with you, man. I had bruised ribs, damaged lungs, internal bleeding. It was crazy how that happened. But throughout that transition, with me being on bed rest, I was able to kind of, you know, sit down. I was in prayer, just trying to figure out, you know, what I wanted to do, man. And I kind of came up, you know, with my logo, the backpack with the stick, the man on his journey. Once I did that, came back to Atlanta because when that wreck happened, I was in Kentucky, just home for the holidays, out hanging around, partying and things like that. So throughout that transition of me being on bed rest in my parents' basement, after that 3 weeks was over, I came back to Atlanta, took the logo, got the shirts printed up. And like they say, man, the rest is history. I started, sent out maybe 12 shirts back at home to Kentucky, and I grinded out the other 12 here out in Georgia while out in college.
Now, talk to me about the grind. And, you know, like you said, you started in Kentucky.
Definitely.
Came to Atlanta. We actually met at Phillips Arena.
Definitely, yeah.
Shout out to Greg Street, well-known DJ, not only here in Atlanta, but just nationally for everything he contributes to hip-hop and to the fashion and sneaker game. He was having a sneaker expo.
Yes, sir.
And we met there, and you actually gifted me with a product there that I still have to this day.
Wow.
Black shirt. With the logo, the young in the hoodie, but it almost looked like the Jumpman. And it had a journey on it and whatnot. Yep. And I remember I took it home. My lady was like, "That's a nice shirt." I'm like, "Yeah, I met this cat today." You know, and this stood out to me, you know, more than any sneakers or anything. Definitely. You know, so talk to me about the grind. With you being an independent brand, you being an African American entrepreneur, being a young man also. This was foreign territory when you first got here. You said you're from Kentucky. Yep. You came down here to Atlanta. Yeah, they say, you know, dreams are made in Atlanta, but you still have to put in the steps and the footprints, you know, for those dreams to come true. So talk to me about the grind and how the grind has helped set you up for where you are today.
Yeah, you know, I think every day is a grind, man. I think the most important thing, especially being in business, especially being an independent entrepreneur, especially when you're building your own thing, is relationships is key. And when I first, you know, made the transition to Georgia, I realized that, man, I got to hit the pavement, I got to grind, but I also got to build successful relationships. And that was one of the key things that's kind of helped leverage my brand to get me to where I'm at now to where I want to be, you know, just building those relationships, coming out with quality product and just making the most out of every single day, man. It's really like no days off, but just really understanding that, man, it falls back on me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to grind like it's on me and I'm going to pray like it's on God, man.
Now, it's funny, you know, we talk a lot off camera. Folks may not know that, our viewing audience won't know that and whatnot. And, you know, we laugh about the Carl Kanai and Tupac, you know, the relationship that they had. And like I said, you giving me a lot of many of red carpets and big interviews. I'm in some type of life journey and stuff, and I'm wearing it proud.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, so talk to me about being a tastemaker or a representative of the urban culture,
Definitely.
why it's so important, you know, to connect with other African American influencers. No disrespect to any other cultures or anything
definitely.
like that. You know, not only, you know, like I said, have you gifted me with product? I've seen 50 Cent rocking your product. You know, I've seen 50 Cent with one of my favorite shirts. You know, has the Inspire on it and different things. Talk to me about why it's been important as an African American entrepreneur to also associate your brand with other African American, up and coming African Americans and celebrity African Americans.
Definitely. I think it's important because it shows the younger generation that we can kind of come together, right? There's a lot of money, a lot of opportunity, a lot of resources for us as a community to come together. So I like working with influencers like yourself, people that's on the come up, because we can keep it within our culture. You know what I'm saying? If you go back to even with FUBU, for us, by us, that's what that whole message was about, man. And they kind of all was building together. So honestly, I love working with our people, you know what I'm saying? And I love being able to feed off one another, because we both out here on the grind. We're both trying to make something happen. We both got families. We both got kids. So I think it's important that, you know, we can show that, you know, we can come together as a community, as a culture, and we can really, you know, build things. Because a lot of times, even when I go out to Vegas for the trade shows, you see so many different other races capitalizing off our culture. You know what I mean? And you don't really see a lot of black designers as much as you see other cultures out there. So it's kind of good to kind of keep that, you know, with roots and, you know, kind of building it from that way.
Now, I'm not gonna keep bragging and boasting about you gifting me with
most definitely
material, but you know, it is like when I know certain times if I get a new product from you, it's like, oh shit, I know it's gonna be a showstopper when I put this on, you know. Whether I'm in Texas at South by Southwest, here in Atlanta at BET. Recently, when we were just in Atlanta, it was funny, you know, the God I'm Trying shit. You know, it seemed like we got stopped every corner. We like, wow. You know, that shit, like, damn, man.
That's crazy. Right.
So where do you come up with the concepts behind what you have on right now? Keep planting seeds, if you don't mind.
You
know, like show the folks
the back too, man.
The actual back of the shirt.
And then that's the front of the shirt as well.
So where do you come up? You know, we spoke with 50 Cent. You know, you had a message on that shirt as well. Talk to me about some of the messages you place on your products and where you come up with these concepts.
Everything's original, bro. Everything it comes from the heart. It comes from the heart. It comes from God. It comes from growing up and different experiences, seeing a lot of my close homies get locked up, seeing a lot of close people to me lose their life to, you know, certain things, such as I had lost a good friend to cancer. And it's just really just me just taking myself away, you know, from those environments and just really just getting in tune with myself, getting in tune with the spirit, man, and really like just talking to people on an everyday basis. Everybody's trying to make it, right? So that's where the keep planting seeds come in from, is because you see a lot of people that's rushing to come up, rushing to get rich, rushing to make something happen. But you got to understand that you gotta plant seeds every day. It's one day at a time. It's not going to happen overnight. So that's how I kind of came up with that concept: believe, pursue, inspire. Before you do anything, you got to believe in yourself. You know, you got to pursue your purpose. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a calling, and it's important that we inspire others, because there's other people that's coming behind us. There's other people that's dependent on us to make it. So the concepts, man, really just comes from everyday life, talking to people, being in conversations, just engaging in life, bro. Like, you know, and just, you know, kind of my upbringing and seeing a lot of people not really understand their full potential or purpose in life, and seeing how they just kind of, you know, waste time, and then they look back at 40, 50 years old trying to, you know, change their life. Not saying that they can't, but it's just like, you know, I got a cousin now that's doing a 20-year bid, man, and he's full of potential. You know what I mean? He just made some wrong choices, which led him, you know, in the situation he's in now. So I just kind of, you know, be inspired from that, man, to kind of create, not necessarily like, you know, look at that as, I'm feed off that from inspiration, but just look at it as, how can I pave a better way, you know, for myself to help him when he gets out, you know? So that's where a lot of the concepts kind of come from, man. Is everyday people, trying to help everyday people through everyday life.
Now, I understand that you're taking the brand to new levels in the next couple of months, new location as well.
Definitely.
Talk to me about your upcoming endeavors.
Yeah. So the next location I'm relocating to is Los Angeles. The reason why is because Life's Journey is such a universal name, and I want to be able to expand the brand from a global perspective. I'm going to get out there to kind of find more resources in terms of manufacturing companies. I want to also get out there to kind of see how they do marketing on another level. Study a few fashion brands that are, you know, a lot of streetwear brands either come out of New York or Los Angeles. So with me kind of getting out there, I can kind of see what are they doing, what do I need to do, how can I enhance what I'm doing to kind of get more marketing and exposure. So that's the move for Los Angeles, man, is to really just get out there and just be a sponge and soak up as much as I can.
Now you also, you know, I'll say, in your message, what caught me about life's journey, just honestly, the messages seem to be very spiritual. Definitely. You know, it seems like one of those things where God is the captain of the boat, and you know, in ordering the steps of life and whatnot. And that's what stood out to me. I'm like, damn, you know, like I see this young black man with a hood on, you know, in his hoodie, but you know, ready to take this stand, and with all the sayings, keep planting seeds, you know, to inspire and different things. It has a very spiritual meaning to me, at least. Talk to me just about, you know, being an African American man, and I don't want to say openly wearing, you know, God's armor on your sleeve, but you preach that in your message, you know, about having faith and believing in God and talking to God. Talk to me about why that is important and how that honestly, you know, they say blessings flow when you acknowledge the maker and the creator. And that's something that I believe you do with all of your products.
Most definitely.
Be a bag, a shirt, a button, a hat.
Most definitely.
You see that. Even with the shirt, keep planting seeds, that represents life.
Most definitely.
Like in creation within itself.
Definitely.
So talk to me about how that just flows, you know, the spiritual aspect and having faith and following God's words and God's footsteps with your brand.
Definitely. I think if we align, I think a lot of times we go off and we try to do things a lot on our own and we kind of get stuck. For me personally, the reason why I want to kind of put that message out there is because if you align your purpose, if you align your calling with His, everything's going to work itself out. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to have any bumps or bruises in the roads, but it's important that, you know, we understand that life is hard as it is, man. You're dealing with death, you're dealing with setbacks, you're dealing with certain people that may come in and out of your life. So we all need that encouragement, you know, and I think with the brand, I just want to be able to openly encourage people, you know, to be inspired not only within themselves, but so other people can kind of see the message as well, man. So that's why I kind of wear it openly. I want people to see it. But also to understand that, you know, you got to stay true to yourself, true to your roots.
You're tuned in right now, Live Hip Hop Daily TV, These Urban Times. I'm joined at the desk with Mr. Chris Hudson. We'll be right back because I still have a few things to talk about. Meek Mill, Derrick Rose with some new things. So I want you to stay with me, you know, and dive into these topics with me. I want to get your opinion on some things that's going on and continue to dive into our interview. We're going to take a quick break, check out this new video, and we'll be right back here on Live Hip Hop Daily TV, These Urban Times. We're back, Terrell Thomas. Right now we're at the desk, These Urban Times, and I'm still joined, as you see, by the CEO and founder of Life's Journey, Mr. Chris Hudson. So we played a few videos, you know, give our viewers just a brief break before we jump back into the desk. And as I mentioned, we're going to dive into some new news that takes place, but I also have to, you know, I got to know, what's next for the brand? You know, we know you're going to L.A., we know that, you know, you'll be on the West Coast for a little while, but what concepts, what color schemes, what new materials? I know that you know, we're currently in the summertime, but fall's right around the corner. So what's next for Life's Journey? Yeah,
so what's next as far as the apparel? We have a ton of fall stuff that's dropping. We're gonna continue on with the sweatsuits. We got some varsity jackets coming, some more different jackets and everything. So it's really going to be dope in terms of the fall. We got a lot of new themes and collections that we kind of adding. And then also in terms of long term, we're planning our summer tour for next year. So what we're going to do is rent out, what we're looking at is getting is like a van and pretty much hitting up like 20 to 30 cities, man. So that's the plan and that's the goal for next year. That's actually in the works now, and just trying to, you know, look into getting some sponsorship to kind of tie in with it. But that's what we got in the works for next year.
Will we see Life's Journey, or do you have any plans or aspirations? Do you want to keep things, you know, like available online at pop-up shops when you come to a town near you, or are you looking at getting your apparel in different clothing stores?
Yeah, that's something that, you know, I guess with the move, with the transition to LA, to maybe see what's up with some investors. But honestly, I want to kind of keep it still like, you know, a brand to where you can touch and feel it. I don't know if I want to go like the major storefronts. I kind of want to keep it exclusive, keep it available at pop-up shops. Maybe have a few store accounts, continue on with that relationship, but just keep it more exclusive, man. Honestly, that's the kind of the goal that I kind of want to have the brand, but I do want to have it accessible, but not to where it's accessible to where you can purchase it everywhere.
I dig that.
You know, and then that kind of takes away, you know, the meaning of the brand. Because I mean, once you go that way, you have a good solid 2 or 3 years, and then after that, you know, a lot of brands kind of go downhill once they have it accessible to everyone. So I want to kind of keep that exclusivity feel to it as well.
If people want to purchase some material from your brand, they want to follow you on social media, continue to follow Chris, or continue Life's Journey, continue to follow Life's Journey. Tell them how they can do that via social media, and where they can check out, you know, your site as well. Definitely.
So the website is www.lifesjourneyclothing.com. You can follow me on Instagram as well as Twitter, social media, every social media site, Life's Journey Clothing, and for the Instagram, it's just Life's Journey CO.
Well, we're not going to let you go anywhere, you know.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like I say, it's still some things taking place in news that we got to debate about. So I want to get your opinion on a few things as well. So diving into the world of sports, Derrick Rose, you know, he's a free agent right now.
Yeah.
Last year he had one of his best seasons ever. Actually with the New York Knicks. Derrick Rose isn't playing like the MVP that we once saw when he was a member of the Chicago Bulls.
Right.
Derrick Rose is a hot commodity right now at the guard position, and there are two teams more specifically who are looking to sign Derrick Rose.
Definitely.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
And the LA Lakers.
Definitely.
Now both teams are looking at bringing on Rose on a 1-year deal.
Okay.
But where it gets a little tricky, the Lakers can offer Derrick Rose a little bit more money than Cleveland currently can.
Okay.
He'll have an opportunity to mentor Lonzo Ball if he was to sign with the Lakers, and he would get more playing time if he signed with the Lakers.
Okay.
If he goes with Cleveland, of course you're playing with LeBron.
Yep.
You're playing potentially at times alongside Kyrie or backing up Kyrie Irving. And 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, you're going to be representing the Eastern Conference in the finals.
Most definitely.
So if you were Derrick Rose, where would you be going?
I think, honestly, I'm a fan of both teams, but I would say Cleveland. I think, you know, especially for D Rose, I'm sure he wants to be a championship contender.
Yes, he does.
So I think that'll be a great fit for him, you know, especially with the Cavaliers, and you know, I'm sure they're going to be back, you know, next year. So I think that's a great fit. But also, you know, I guess, you know, depending on the money situation for him, I'm sure he's interested in that as well. But I would say Cleveland.
So as we just gave mention to, the Cavs and the Lakers are both looking to sign Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose has met with several teams during this offseason, including the LA Clippers and the Milwaukee Bucks. So it'll be interesting to see where he actually does land. We'll continue to bring you details on that. And in the world of music, Meek Mill. Today is Meek Day, July 21st. Meek Mill dropped his latest album, Wins and Losses, 17-track project. He has a video for a couple of the tracks out there. Chris Brown on the project, Lil Uzi Vert on the project. He actually even kept it in Philly with an up-and-coming artist out of there, Lights Camera. What do you think of the project so far?
So far, I gave it a slight listen. I liked it so far. I mean, he had a couple dope tracks on there, so I haven't really gave it like that full listen. But for what I heard, I'm definitely feeling it.
We on the same vibe. I haven't given it a full listen yet.
Sure.
I was kind of listening to it this morning. I want to actually sit down, you know, take woo side, have a lemonade or something, and listen to the project. But as we gave mention to, Meek's latest project is out. He's been dropping bits and pieces of music all summer long with his Meekends 1 and 2. He dropped one of the Meekend musics on his birthday, and then he dropped the second Meekend music 2 on July 1st. I mean July 4th, excuse me, right around the that holiday. So when folks were kicking out, he gave us something new to listen to, and now he's back with a new project, 17-track project, Wins and Losses, is available on Tidal. It's also available on iTunes. As I gave mentioned to, Future, Chris Brown, Lil Uzi Vert, Lights Camera. It's a very dope cast of features on the project as well. So if you haven't had a chance already this weekend, make sure you support Meek Mill. Check out what he has going on. He also has a movie for the Wins and Losses.
Yeah, the movie looked dope.
Yeah, he's doing a whole lot with this project. So shout out to Meek Mill holding it down for Philly. We're actually gonna move right along in the show, man. man. We appreciate you coming out. Once again, follow Chris Hudson. Continue to check out what he has going on Life Journeys. I'll continue to stay fresh in his material.
Definitely.
And support the movement. We definitely we support everything this brother is doing and everything the brand stands for. We're gonna be right here at Live Hip Hop Daily TV on Monday. But before we close out today, we got the latest episode of Big Bowls Pause. Is episode 50, and this one here is where the cast comes back. With episode 50, they pretty much had some of their tastemakers, some of their stars, friends, family come back for the 50th episode, and they all sit at the desk. So this will be very dope to see. It's about a half an hour, so that's why we're starting this one a little bit earlier in the show than usual. So once again, this will be the 50th episode of Big Bowls Pause. Check that out. Check out all of the previous 50 episodes on YouTube at Crunch Time TV. Continue to check these brothers out. I know the new season is going to be bigger, better, and doper than before. And who never knows? We may even be watching that from this lens that you see me from. So you can check that out. We'll be right back here Monday, as we always are on Live Hip Hop Daily TV, 1 o'clock. We'll be continuing the week. There'll also be some dope shows tonight, so continue to tune in tonight. Live Hip Hop Daily TV. You continue to check out some dope shows. Chris, once again, why don't you let the people know where they can check you out, where they can follow the movement, and where they can purchase some items as well.
Gotcha. Once again, I appreciate you for having me, man. It means a lot, man. Keep up the great work.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Sure.
We appreciate
Thank you, brother.
We appreciate
Thank you.
everything you do for the culture.
Definitely, man. Thank you. Yeah, you can purchase www.lifesjourneyclothing.com, and you can also follow on the social media handle on Instagram at Life's Journey CO. I appreciate the time.
We'll see y'all Monday.